it's fun to talk about and this, that, but I think Love would have been the difference of you guys going to the Super Bowl last year, but that's just me.
Wait, you think if we had Love on our roster instead of Goff that we make the Super Bowl?
I do.
Thank you for tuning in. I'm your co-host, Jose. With me, as always, Ryan Moran, and this is the Honolulu Cheese Podcast. What's good, fellas? It's been a minute since we've been on here recording. Feels good. What's the deal?
2 weeks to be exact.
Man, 2 long weeks.
I missed you guys. I did. I mean that. I see your faces of discontent, but I mean it.
I talk to you like every day, but okay.
Legit, I would hope to say the feeling's mutual, but I'd be lying.
I miss this.
Yeah,
we miss this as well. But we don't miss each other. We literally talk to each other every day.
Well, some congratulations are in order, and there's a reason we missed a couple weeks. Jose, what happened?
Kind of a big deal, just kind of a big deal in my life. Me and my wife welcomed the birth of our third child, my son, Gabriel, into the world. So it's been an eventful last week, and then the week prior, just getting ready for everything. So, it's been good, man.
Man,
congrats, bro.
Appreciate it.
Love to hear it. Shout out to Gabriel, by the way.
Shout out Gabriel.
Young G.
He's our youngest fan, I hear.
He is. He is literally the youngest fan.
As long as he's not our only fan, we're okay.
All right. Well, very well done.
No, that's a good reason to miss a couple weeks, though, but I feel like we're back with a vengeance.
No, definitely. Yeah, we'll be back, and we're ready, man. Big week next week as well. Draft. Make sure to tune in for that episode. I think we're going to do our mock draft next week, so that'll be pretty cool.
It'll be a lot of fun, but we have some contract stuff to discuss first. Recent news broke about Goff getting an extension with us, upwards of $50 million a year. And shout out to me, by the way, for shouting out that exact number a few episodes ago when we were talking about that. But it begs the question, because Goff and Love are in this similar spot of having their extensions coming up soon. Who deserves the bigger contract with more money?
Man, it's a pretty interesting debate, to be honest with you. The reason I say that is because it really just depends what side of the fence you're on. Like, so you have Goff, who's the proven quarterback. He is a quarterback that's gone to the Super Bowl. He's a quarterback who has recently, as recent as last season, gone to the NFC Championship. So he's proven, right? He's done things in his career. He hasn't won it, but I mean, he's done some nice things in his career. So I could see why there's that argument where people want to pay Goff, but then you have Jordan Love, who's the young guy, even though he's been in the league for 5 years now. He's a younger quarterback. We saw the arm talent last year, but we also saw some of those, I don't want to say rookie mistakes, but in a sense they were, So we saw some of his game that needs to be cleaned up. So I don't know. This is a tough one for me. I guess I'd have to say I'd lean Goff just because of the experience and what he's proved he can do over the last season and a half here. But I can see both sides. I can understand if the Packers give Jordan Love 55, 60 million. I didn't think that number was going to get so high, but I think everyone's waiting on this Goff contract to get done.
Go ahead, Mito.
You know what side I'm on. I think Goff is one of those quarterbacks that everything has to be good around him for him to be good. That's not what you want a quarterback to be. I think on the flip side of things, if you put Goff on Green Bay, we win 5 games last year. I see the hype for Goff because he did something for you guys that you guys haven't done in forever. And you have to extend him, I guess, because you really don't have a backup option unless you want to go down that road, I should say. But there's no question for me, at all. So it's fun to talk about and this, that, but I think Love would have been the difference of you guys going to the Super Bowl last year, but that's just me.
Wait, you think if we had Love on our roster instead of Goff that we make the Super Bowl?
I do.
Moran, you guys directly lost games because of Jordan Love and his mistakes,
We did.
including in the playoffs. Made a
I w-
boneheaded interception against San Fran.
I wouldn't say that's why we lost, but it's
Okay,
more.
but it was
the coffin.
I mean, it
I
was
don't-
the nail in the coffin, right?
Yeah, that's fine, but I don't think that. I don't think there's a lot of quarterbacks that would have took that team where Love took them, with the inexperience, the youth all over, the injuries all over, and I think we've seen what Goff looks like when not everything's going his way. That's why he got shipped out of LA after going to the Super Bowl.
I don't know if that's fair. I think McVay completely scapegoated Goff and made that Super Bowl loss about him. And if we had a better quarterback, we would have put up more than 3 points against New England. Like,
I mean, did he?
I lost a lot of respect for McVay when that all went down. Honestly,
That's fine, but did he look wrong? Like,
I mean,
Stafford wasn't all that for LA, and they still won it.
No, I think both Detroit and the Rams got exactly what they needed in that trade. Like, that was the win-win trade of the millennium. Like, I've never seen a trade work out better for both sides. Like, and yeah, we haven't made it to the promised land with Goff yet, but we're also one of the best-looking teams in the NFC under him right now. But if you were to give a number on Jordan Love's contract, sitting here right now, Mito, what would you give it?
It's not even a number. It just has to be more than Goff. So if you guys are giving Goff 50, I want to give him 51.
Yeah, I think we're both on the side where we want to pay our guy first because I think the second guy's going to get more no
it's
matter
literally,
what.
yeah, whoever gets paid first, the other guy's going to get paid more. Doesn't matter.
Right.
But the thing about Goff and Stafford, the whole win-win thing, I think as Lions fans, you guys can agree that Stafford was never set up the way Goff has been set up. So who's to say? So who's to say if that team was set up for Stafford, you guys wouldn't win it? So it's hard to say.
Yeah, but I mean, Stafford also didn't want to go through the rebuild with Brad Holmes in DC, right? He asked to be shipped out. So
No, I know. I get it.
If Stafford
Yeah.
had known it was going to be that quick of a turnaround, he probably would have. But we wouldn't have gotten that quick of a start to the turnaround without Matthew Stafford being traded.
correct.
So
But it's going to get to the point, and you guys are going to think I'm nuts, but what if the next 2 years you guys don't do anything? It's going to end up being LA all over again for Goff. You're going to look for the next piece. So that's the risk of paying him.
what if we win it back to back?
Win what back-to-back?
It.
What's it?
You know what it
means.
is.
No, I don't. Please tell me.
The Lombardi.
Okay.
Actually, maybe we don't know what it is, Jose. We've never been there.
I know, truly.
Literally.
This feels bad.
No, but
Feels bad.
so the thing about Love where he kind of fades in this argument is that for almost half of last year, he did not look good. He had a very low completion rate.
Can I cut you off?
Hang on. You guys weren't scoring points.
Can I
There was
cut
a lot
you
of
off?
frustration in your fan base. Go ahead.
Okay. Our entire offense was rookies except Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon. What did you want him to do?
I mean, we had two rookies at very important positions as well. Amon-Ra's in his third year. It is what it is.
Our entire receiving core is young. First and second year players. What do you think Goff would have did on that team?
I think we're both fans of teams with good young offenses.
That's not what I'm asking you.
I think he would have done the exact same thing, to be honest with you.
So why didn't he make anyone in LA good?
No, I don't think he would have done the same thing because Goff has already gone through growing pains as a rookie. And that's why I'm not trying to bash Love too much because he was a rookie who sat for a while and there were going to be growing pains. I'm just saying in this argument, Goff probably comes out on top for me as unbiased as I can to make it that way.
Sure. Yeah. I know. I get what you're saying. I don't like how we're trying to say, like, we're going back to Jared Goff of the LA Rams. He's far removed from that Jared Goff and that player.
I don't agree with that.
Man,
I
look
don't.
at what he's done over the last 2 years. He's been one of the best quarterbacks in the league.
Correct. And from week 7 to week 14, he led the league in turnovers.
Okay,
What's-
he had a bad stretch. What about all
So,
the interceptions that
he had
Jordan
a
Love
bad
threw
stretch
last year?
with an established offense in Detroit, and Love had a bad stretch with rookies and sophomores. What bad stretch is worse? Like, what are we doing here?
What do you mean? I don't understand.
Goff had a bad stretch with Detroit. Your offense was already a top 5 offense. No young players besides Laporta and Gibbs.
J-Mo.
The rest of your off JMO doesn't count, bro. Mr. Irrelevant. Your offense was already established. You guys were already a good offense. So for him to struggle, it didn't make sense for him to struggle because he already showed that he can play well with them. The reason for Love's struggles was because we were young and they've never played together.
It did make sense because we had linemen who were out, and
Come
that's why
on,
Love
man.
was getting,
Come
or that's why Goff was
on.
getting killed.
Regardless
on.
of the fact, though, injuries, whatever you say, okay, he had a bad stretch of football. That doesn't change the fact that he still statistically have been one of the best quarterbacks in the league over the last season and a half. That's facts. Even with that stretch you're talking about. So I don't understand the point.
But was Love not statistically one of the best quarterbacks last year? With
I never
first
said
and second
he
year
wasn't.
players?
I never said he wasn't, though.
No, I get it. But I'm saying if you put Goff in that situation Green Bay was in, he would be reverted back to LA Goff based on him leading the league in turnovers with an already established offense. It would have been worse.
He didn't lead the league in turnovers.
Yes, for that stretch he did. We talked about it in the chat.
He had a bad stretch, but we're talking about the player as a whole and the season as a whole.
No,
he led the team to the NFC Championship. Stop shitting on him.
No, I get what you're talking about, but there was a lot of quarterbacks, and I think to this day there's a lot of quarterbacks that would have did what he did in Detroit. I'm not wrong.
I think that is there's no proof to the pudding there. That's just opinion.
There's not, because we can't remove a player, but we can go on the body of work.
It's a tough conversation because, yes, Goff got farther. Love did crumble in that fourth quarter against San Fran, no matter how you put it. And the same thing, we crumbled the second half against San Fran too. Like, I understand.
And the first game against the Rams, you guys scored 7 points in the second half as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think that's all on just Jared Goff. That's an offensive problem in general. That's a Ben Johnson thing that needs to get figured out. And we've talked about that. Yeah, we love it. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm so happy.
Yeah, you should be.
I posted the same question to both the Lions and Packers subreddits, and of course, both fan bases lean for their guy, as we're doing right now. But some Packers fan, username the Viola Rule, said, "Pay Goff $75 million a year. Do it, cowards."
Wow,
That was a good one.
that's funny.
Because we want him there.
Someone with the name Love is All I Got said Love is worth more than Goff, but also comes with more risk. And I
Absolutely.
have great respect for that comment because it's very sound and based in fact.
Yeah, shout out to that guy.
Shout out to that guy. So we have seen Goff's ceiling these past 2 years. Agreed? Like top 5 numbers, we're winning in the playoffs, whatever, right? I think you could make the argument that Love has a higher ceiling than even that, where it's like perennial Pro Bowl every year, blah, blah, blah. And it's the tale of two loves, I guess, because you saw the growing pains, but you also saw him play very well for the last 8 weeks. So are you going to pay for that potential, or do you pay him for what he is now? I don't know.
It's a fair question. Yeah, it's a question that Gutenkist or Gutenkust, or we'll just call him Goody because I can never say his name right. He's going to have to figure out that.
No, he already figured it out. It's just about when they do it.
No, yeah, they're going to pay him. It's just figuring out how much, right?
Yeah.
But we'll see.
Well, speaking of Goff, he made some recent comments to the media that ruffled some feathers in the local sporting news arena, saying that Detroit media, quote, relishes in negativity. And he's not talking about this podcast, folks. That's not happening. But we're not negative people. But seriously, I think he's talking about 97.1, right? Like, that's an obvious one. And just the guys in the paper. What do you guys make of this? Because we listen to Detroit media all the time, obviously.
You could take it, Mito.
Jose, I was going to say, when you're editing and he says 97.1, go ahead and bleep it. We don't get free promo. But But anyways, man, I'm gonna just sound like an ass today, but I think it's crazy for me or for me to think about a guy talking about a sports town being negative for a sports town that hasn't accomplished anything in the sport of football. Like, I don't think 1 year of going to the NFC Championship like erases all the misery and the Millen and the Harrington and the whatever you want to name. You just keep it going. Like, I give the guy his flowers. He did well. He took you guys to the championship, but that doesn't erase what happened. And when he first came to Detroit, you guys were bad. That didn't change. And I tell people at work this all the time. You can do it once. If you do it once, you're lucky. If you do it again, we believe in you. That's what fans want to see. That's what the media wants to see. I think it was more him saying it just to make things about him more than anything. That's what kind of upset me. But is 90 blank blank, negative sometimes? Sure, they are.
You can say it.
But
Just say the numbers, bro.
no, I think the only thing with 90 blank blank is
Okay.
Oh, if you say 90 blank blank one more time, I'm standing up and walking out.
no. I think the problem with that station as a whole is when they're wrong, they don't take accountability for their wrong. They spin it in a way to make them not look as wrong, and then when they're right, they're on the Sears Tower talking about how right they are. You can't be that way. That's the problem with that station. But the bias of them being critical, I don't disagree with. They have the right to be. It's just you got to play it both ways. When you're wrong, you got to admit you're wrong.
So I was tuning in today, and I was thinking about it because I knew this was going to be a topic for today. And the Red Wings, I don't know if you guys caught the game last night. The Red Wings have been awful for the past 5 weeks. They're blowing their wild card hopes. They have a comeback, 4-1 comeback yesterday. An amazing game. Overtime winner. Great. You tune in at, 4 p.m. today, and all we hear about is like, what are the fans cheering for? They blew it for 5 whole weeks. Like,
Yeah, I heard
you
that
guys
segment.
are applauding this? Like, shitting on the fans for being fans and cheering at a home game when your team wins a must-win game. Like, I think that's the negativity that he's talking about. I didn't even think he's talking about just the Lions or that station. But I think it was just so annoying to listen to, because what do you want from the fan, man? Like, you just want them to golf clap their way because it was acceptable and not get hype? Like, it's just so stupid to me.
Yeah. So, and
Shout out to the Red Wings by the way. They're
Hey,
playing right now, fighting for their playoff hopes.
They're down 2-1, by the way.
hey, that's tough. Shout out to Lucas Raymond in that winner last night, though.
Yeah, shout out to them.
I felt what he was saying, bro, to be honest with you. I too am of the mind that we have a negative media here, and it's not just all about the Lions. It's just Detroit sports in general. Like, it is very negative. And I understand that all of our teams have been bad now for a long time. Obviously the Lions had their recent success, but it's been rough here as a sport in Detroit as a sports town. So there hasn't been a lot of good to talk about. But even when there is good to talk about, I feel like, they're always trying to find something negative. And what I go back to a lot, and Ryan, you and I talked about this privately, is like the Jameson Williams stuff, like, and all the negativity that surrounded him, even when there was no reason for it, like him setting off firecrackers and him going out to the Coney Island, or him giving kids money for selling water. Like, they would take little things like that and spin it into a negative, and it's an hour topic. You know what I mean? Like, it just, I don't know. I didn't like it.
Do you remember when he was coming back from, I think it was the suspension, and he came out and said, I'm catching 100 balls a day, and they torched him? Why not 1,000? Why not 2,000?
I do
You guys remember that?
Yep. Yeah.
That
You should
stuff-
be doing as
that
many as
stuff-
Amon-Ra every day and blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I remember that.
That stuff is silly to me. I agree 1,000%. But like you said, there hasn't been anything to cheer about in this city. Mm-hmm. So being negative about the specific teams, I'm all for that. I think it's well deserved. But the negativity on a guy like Jameson Williams, when he barely played, and like the guy's trying to come back, and you're like, oh, why didn't he catch more balls? I think that stuff is silly, and that's more, okay, it's slow on the radio today, we got to create some buzz.
Right.
And you guys gotta remember, Buzz creates controversy. Buzz makes money.
Yeah,
And
for sure.
and Valeni has said it a million times. If all our teams were good and everyone was an angel, we wouldn't have a show. So he does it on purpose.
No, yeah, he knows what he's doing, and just to clarify, man, shout out to them. I'm a fan. I listen every day, so
I'm not.
I'm not. I mean, that's fine. Everyone has their own thing, right? But I'm just saying in general. I'm not trying to like shit on anybody and their opinions or what they do. You know what I'm saying? That's
Yeah.
their prerogative. And whoever, you know, regardless whether it's that station or whatever content people are listening to. It's just I don't disagree with what Jared was saying, and this isn't negative media.
Sorry,
Scott,
bro. I'm
no,
still
you're
laughing
good, you're
at Moran
good.
having zero
Yeah.
hesitation. Like, I'm not.
No, but he's never been though, right? He literally
No,
hasn't.
I'm really not a fan
No.
of the lack of accountability.
Well,
Because me and Valeni are very similar, but I will hold myself accountable when I feel that I'm wrong and I know that I'm wrong. Like if you make a blanket statement and you're proven wrong, bro, there's millions of people that listen to you. You guys hit it with 97.1. They're very good at what they do.
so
It goes a long way.
to give them some flack, though, the Tigers' last playoff win was 2013. The Wings 2016. The Pistons 2008. I graduated in
Jeez.
2008. It's been since I was in high school.
That was a playoff
What?
win, right? Not a series for the Pistons.
Every team's last playoff win. Before last year, the Lions was 1991. So, like, yes, I think we're conditioned to relish in this negativity in a way because guess what? That's what it's been. This last 10 years of Detroit sports before this Lions past year was the worst decade for any major sports city that I can remember. Like, putrid. Every team at the bottom of the standings every year. It was horrible. I never want to
Right.
go back there. Please don't take me back there.
Honestly,
But like, so that's that. But at the same time, like, yeah, stop barking up these weird ass trees with the JMO hate and just things that don't need to be issues. And I agree with Moran in a way that there are slow days on radio where they just have nothing else to talk about, and it's a lot easier to poo-poo on someone than come up with like an actual engaging topic.
yeah, you got to stir the pot a little bit.
Did they even talk about what's his name as much as they talked about, bro, the guy that just ran away from the cops that you guys released? Why is the name slipping me?
Oh, Cam Sutton.
Oh, Cam Sutton.
Yeah, I feel like they barely spoke about him.
Yeah, it wasn't.
Can-
I'll tell you, Jameson Williams got more coverage than Cam Sutton.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Like,
1,000,000%.
like, can you imagine if that was flipped?
Yeah,
They probably would have changed the name of the station. Like, it's
Yeah.
wild. They barely talked about him.
And the funny thing is, Cam Sutton was getting torched for the last half of last year, so even easier to poo-poo on him.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was weird. I just think that no one really knew what was happening in the situation, and we didn't even know if he was safe or his girl was safe or whatever. So I guess it's kind of risky for the media to badmouth him when you don't even know what's going on most of the time.
It's crazy. Cam Sutton couldn't cover anyone at the end of the year, and he couldn't cover his tracks.
Hey, while we're on Detroit sports, real quick, just want to say one thing: fire Troy Weaver. Thank you. That's it.
Oh my god, bro! I said
I
it to you
do-
guys in the chat earlier. We just won 14 games in a season, and nobody got fired.
Crazy.
Not nobody. Not the unpaid interns are still working there.
Insane.
The light at the end of the tunnel, though, is the Tigers did the same thing when they brought on Dombrowski. I don't remember who the GM was, but they brought on Dombrowski to overshadow him. And then the guy that he was overshadowing, they fired him and the manager 4 days into the season.
God, I
So
miss Dombrowski.
Troy Weaver might not make it out of the first week of the year.
That's what I'm hoping for. That's what I was saying yesterday as well. I believe that Goris doesn't have the balls to do it himself. He's hiring a hitman, essentially.
But the problem is you don't want Troy Weaver a part of this draft. But on the flip side, it's one of the worst drafts in a while. So whatever, let him have it.
Yeah, I agree.
guess.
So bad. They're gonna take Zach Edey or something. Like I
We
can
take
feel
Zach
it.
Edey top 5 all trip.
Why? We're gonna pick number 5 again this year anyway. It doesn't matter.
You know,
true that.
we live in Metro Detroit. Can you imagine they draft Zach Edey and it's the saying is EDBTZ because he stinks? That means my hand in my ass, Jose.
Which is right about where it's at
I
right
know.
now after 14 wins, bro. That's where I'm at. Just put it right up there. My God. All right. Well, let's get to some draft talk. We're like Jose said, we're probably going to do a mock draft next week and get into all that. But preliminary discussion, what teams do we think are moving in the upcoming draft? Because every mock draft I'm seeing nowadays has like 6 trades, blah, blah, blah. And there are a lot of good trade up and trade down candidates. What do you guys think? Who's making some moves?
Man, the easy answer is Minnesota. That's what everyone's saying.
Yep.
I don't think it's going to happen though, because it's being talked about so much. I don't know if they are going to make a move. To be honest, I don't know. It's going to be rough. I want to say the Raiders. I think I think the Las Vegas Raiders are going to make a move. I think that Antonio Pierce wants to do something, and he wants to change that culture over there. He actually addressed the team today. He gave them a real good speech. I don't know if you guys heard it or not. I do have some quotes. Let me pull them up for you real fast. So basically, he gave his whole spiel when he first came out. And, hey, thanks for coming in, voluntary, yada, yada, yada. And then basically told the team, you got to get better. D-line, get better. Wide receiver core, get better. QBs get better, specialists get better, and then he literally called out every position group, and then himself, AP, get better. And what I like
Thanks,
is
Captain Obvious.
Yeah, no, but he was just doing motivation. It was motivational.
Yeah.
You guys got to watch the video.
I get it.
But then he went his next segment after he said AP get better, talking about himself, Antonio Pierce. Quote: he's like, "There's a reason I brought Marvin Lewis in, former head coach, Joe Philbin, former head coach." Why? Because I need to get better. So, like, to him, it's as cheesy as it sounds. He's.
Wait a minute.
Whoa,
Those
whoa,
are not
whoa.
the 2 coaches you want to shout out when it comes to getting better.
I mean, Marvin Lewis was successful. It was. I mean, he was. He just didn't. He didn't have the playoff
Successful.
run. But
Come on, bro.
Compared to
Any
Raiders
Bengals fan, if
standards,
they think he was successful, bro.
Bro, you're a better head coach compared to Raiders standards. That's not saying much, Jose. Come on.
Okay, listen. Anyways, we're getting off topic. The point is that I don't think Marvin Lewis is that bad of a coach. But that's a talk for another day. But either way, the point is,
Dude, he's the Black Jeff Fisher.
who?
No, Jeff Fisher
AP?
went to a Super Bowl, boss.
Yeah,
Oh, Marvin
not the
Lewis.
black
how long
anything.
removed since then?
So,
What I mean by that is like Mr. 9-7 can't get the job done. You have a good roster.
Marvin Lewis didn't win a playoff game for ever.
That's what I'm saying. And they were
Yeah, I
waiting
know,
around.
but he
for
made
him. They
it. He made
extended
it every
him.
year. He made it every year. I know.
Cool.
Yeah, he was
but
there.
he never could win. Yeah, I know. That is rough. But either way, what I'm trying to say.
Go ahead,
though,
Jay.
is,
I'm sorry. I didn't mean
No,
to shit
you're
on you.
good.
Just that name caught
You're
me
not,
off guard.
you're not shitting on me. You're shitting on Antonio Pierce. I don't give a shit.
I'm sorry.
I'm just trying to let you know. If you guys listened to his interview, though, I like the way he addressed that team, and I think he's going to try to make a move to try and make that team better. So I think I see them moving up to try to go ahead and get one of those quarterbacks. We'll see. What about you guys? Who do you guys think?
Ryan, can you run down the draft order for the top 8 real quick?
Yeah, one sec. So we have the Bears 1, Commanders 2, Patriots at 3, 4 is the Cardinals, 5 is the Chargers, 6 is the Giants, 7 is the Titans, 8 is the Falcons.
So I think we can both all agree that 1 through 3 stays pat, I would assume.
Yeah,
Right?
agreed.
I think 1 through 5 is standing pat personally.
No. I think it's going to start to shake up with Arizona.
I agree.
Because I think
they could trade
Arizona's
Matt.
going to roll with Kyler.
Yeah,
And I think they'll start to move if someone wants that 4th quarterback. I think I can't believe I'm going to say this, but Harbaugh's a genius. We talked about this before. Harbaugh has been
McCarthy.
hyping up every single quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
He just wants Marvin Harrison to fall in his lap at 5.
Well, keep in mind about the Cardinals, they have 11 total picks. 6 of them are in the top 100.
So do the Packers.
So that's fine. That's an argument against the Cardinals trading down, I think, because if you already have
Yeah.
5 other picks in the top 100, why not take Marvin Harrison at 4 or whoever else is there that you want?
Or neighbors or whatever. Yeah, I don't see them. I don't see them moving down. I think they're going to go get Kyler a weapon. I really do. They traded Rondale Moore. He's not there anymore. They're going to go get. I believe they're taking Marvin Harrison.
I have an interesting one for being able to move up. Sorry, Mito. I was just going to say, I'm thinking the Colts at 15 could make a move up to try to get one of those top 3 receivers, either Neighbors, Rome, or Marvin Harrison because they have Pittman, but his contract at the end of the year was a little wonky. People weren't sure if he was leaving or not. And you do need someone else across from him. Like Alec Pierce is nice, but I don't know if he's a legit number 2. You have Anthony Richardson. You got your guy at quarterback. Running back, you got Jonathan Taylor still. You're figured out there. Like, I think that would be a really good move for them, actually.
Yeah, Marvin Harrison Jr. is on record saying he would love to play for Indianapolis.
Shocker. I mean, his dad made a Hall of
Exactly.
Fame career there.
Well, he lived there. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's
Yeah,
where
why
he grew
not?
up, right? But
It's
yeah, that'd
gonna-
be crazy.
It's going to cost them, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if they feel like they're one piece away,
But, dude, look at their division. Houston has gotten so much better this offseason. Like, they have to keep up, and they barely missed on the playoffs last year for a boneheaded call for a pass play to a third-string receiver whose name I honestly, you guys, I don't even remember. Like, they were there, and the Jaguars are iffy. The Titans are rebuilding. Like, go make a move.
yeah.
But don't you guys think that the receiver class is so loaded that you don't have to do that? I think it would be so silly to give up that much.
Yeah, I look at it in tiers. You know, like S tier, you have Marvin Harrison, Neighbors, and Rome, and then you have the guys right under that who are still very good. You know, your Brian Thomas, your AD Mitchells, whoever. And yeah, they're good, but they're just not those top 3 as far as the mocks and everything like that goes.
Yeah, I feel like it's a position that can be found all throughout the draft. I've never been a fan of top 5 receivers, top 10 receivers. I don't know.
Yeah,
Maybe Marvin Harrison is that generational player. I know the fairy tale story is there for the Colts too. I think that's why they want to do it more than anything. Yeah. Obviously, he's great, but that story helps. But it's going to be very, very expensive, I think.
Yeah, they'd be giving up a lot to jump that far up. But like I said, for me personally, the top 5 I think is set. I don't think any of those teams are moving off that.
Any trade down candidates for you guys? I
I
have one.
I do too.
I think the Giants are trading down 1,000,000%.
Yeah, I think
No reason for them not to.
I actually think our Lions are trading down. I don't think we make our first round pick.
I could see that too.
You don't think the Giants can move up to take a quarterback?
They wouldn't have to though. I mean, unless
what pick are they?
They're 6. So unless I guess Daniels and May and obviously Caleb are all gone. And, like the thing is, JJ McCarthy's going to be there at 6 for the Giants probably.
We don't know.
I know, unless Minnesota does something crazy and trades with Arizona. That's where it gets fishy. Like I think the Giants are a complete wild card. They changed the entire draft, and so does Arizona.
Yeah.
I think a for sure trade down is the Chargers, unless Harrison's there. I don't think if Harrison's not there, they make that pick. I'll be shocked if they did, actually.
I mean, they need capital.
They do.
They also need that tackle though.
They don't have. They literally don't. They have one receiver on their roster.
I know.
They don't have a running back. They have a running back, but they don't have depth. Their whole team, their whole offense is shook.
Who's their running back? Singletary?
No. What's his name?
Eckler's gone.
No, I know.
Eckler. Oh, I thought you were talking about the Giants.
No, the
Talking about
Chargers.
Isaiah, whatever his name is.
Isaiah Spiller and Joshua Kelly.
Yeah.
Oh, Joshua Kelly. Yeah.
I thought you were still talking about the Giants. My bad.
No.
Yeah. Yeah, I think they could. I think getting that tackle would be nice opposite of Slater. Kind of protect Herbert a little bit, but they need a lot there.
Don't let Herbert get Marvin Harrison.
There's no way.
Don't do it.
I mean, he had Keenan and Mike.
Don't
guess.
compare those two.
Hey,
Please.
Keenan has been top 5 for a long time.
We're not going to get
Give
into
that man his respect.
We're not going to get into
Put
that.
some pecs on it. But hey,
That's right.
he's a Bear now, so he can go fly a kite.
Yeah. With the first pick in the
kick rocks.
draft, the Bears select Drake May. Oh, that would be great.
Imagine.
Man, that would be so funny.
Oh, man. Well, speaking of weird things that happen on draft day, we wanted to go over some best and worst draft day trades. Historically, what do you guys think are the ones that stick out to you the most?
Go ahead, Zay.
Worst for me, and this one it kind of like it hurts me to say because it's my favorite player ever is the Saints giving up their entire draft for Ricky Williams.
Yeah.
And the thing is, Ricky didn't pan out there. You know, he had his best years in Miami, so that would be the worst one for me. And then the best, there's a lot I think, and this one's not really a draft day trade, so to speak, but it had such a big impact, and it's one of our division rivals. I think Minnesota hit a lick, trading Diggs and drafting JJ. Man, I think that was just the way it panned out for them has been great.
Let's say Mito.
The Redskins trading for RG3 when they literally went and drafted Kirk Cousins that same draft, and he's obviously been the better quarterback. And I know injuries, all that, but still, like, how do you think RG3 is worth that much, and then you draft his insurance plan? Like, Nothing made sense.
Yeah, that was a bad organizational call.
Nothing made sense.
You know what's the worst organizational call is not fixing your damn field so your guys don't get hurt, and it's still a problem.
Besides that,
that's why it happened. They shot themselves in the foot, literally.
Like, just putting it in simple terms, like, Jose owns a BMW. I give him 4 Toyotas for his BMW. I get the BMW, and then I go buy a Toyota on the side. Like, what? Nothing made sense. I hated that trade.
Jose, you got a BMW?
I wish.
But yeah, that trade, and then what was the other one? I hated the trade for when the Raiders traded Randy Moss to the Patriots for a 4th-round pick.
That was crazy.
Because I get, like, Randy Moss was kind of a headache at that time, but, like, a 4th-round pick? Like, just end up releasing him one day. Who cares?
What a trade for the Patriots, too.
Yeah.
Literally. The NFL is so weird when it comes to trading, like, those mid-round draft picks for super high-profile guys. Like, it happens every year, and every fan base is screaming, I'd give up a 3rd for so-and-so. You know, it's crazy. Okay, I have mine. And mine happened after COVID, actually, so it's pretty recent. But for me, it's an easy one. It's San Fran moving up with Miami to pick Trey Lance.
Yeah.
And it's the best and the worst, because who did Miami take with those 3 first-rounders that they got? They traded up for Jalen Waddle. They traded for Tyreek Hill and Bradley Chubb. So Miami's struggles, I mean, you can make fun of them all you want, but that has nothing to do with that GM because that guy hit a lick.
Big lick.
And speaking of Miami, you remember when they traded up to 3 to draft Deion Jordan?
Wow. That's a bad player, bro.
That dude just never panned out. Ever.
That was a bad draft, though, I believe, right?
Yeah, it was pretty bad. Deion Jordan literally got drafted because he looked good in shorts and he was fast.
Yeah,
crazy.
No, it is crazy. I believe that whole, if we go back and look at that draft class, maybe we will. Maybe we'll touch on it next week. But that was a bad class. It's in hindsight, right? 2020. No one really panned out.
Can you imagine having a top 10 pick like 80% of the time and not having a playoff win?
Yes. I know exactly how that feels.
No,
I know, but
no imagination needed.
No, I know, but you guys. No, I'm not talking about you guys.
Oh, okay, I thought that was a shot.
Oh, I thought you were throwing shade. Yeah,
I'm like, yes,
no,
actually,
I was taking a shot at Miami. You guys got over the playoff win hump.
Sorry, C.
Yeah, now we can make fun of Miami. Those idiots, those losers. After decades of futility.
That's funny.
All right, what is your guys' dream scenario for your teams on draft night?
Mito, go ahead. Touch on it.
So, I think let me put on my my prediction stance. I think we're drafting a lineman. I really do. Reason I think that is because there was a report this week that our starting center is already on our roster, and it's not Myers, who started for us last year. I think they're going to slide Zach Tom to center. And draft a lineman. We have 11 picks like we talked about. I think they're going to go get that for sure lineman, which would kind of bother me because we're so good at drafting linemen. I wouldn't see the point in that. But I'm going to trust the process. It'll be a lineman, I believe. But I will say, if it's not a lineman, it's because we got Cooper DeJean.
So is the dream Cooper then?
Yes, because man, it would be so cool to have him lined up with Xavier and Jair. It would just be so fun.
Is this a Abel Hassan thing to say Dijon?
Yeah.
It's that French in us?
It would be just so fun. So fun. But I'm not going to be mad regardless because we had draft picks contribute 1 through 7 last year, so I'm ready for it.
Yeah. For me, dream scenario is both nightmare as well. It's my dream and it's the nightmare for some fans, not me personally. And I'm on board with trading back. I don't want to go too far back into the second round, but I would like if we could recoup some value and try to get. I believe we don't have a 4th round pick, and then we traded that 3rd round pick for Carlton Davis. So if we're able to kind of get some more picks and not move too far back into the second round, that would be great for me. And the reason being is just
So not make a first at all is what you're saying?
yeah. I mean, because let's say we go from like 29, and we trade back to like the 5th pick in the second round. Move back a couple spots, get an extra 4th round pick or a 3rd round pick. I'd be good because the more ammunition Brad Holmes has, the better. He's proven that he can hit on the picks. So I would love to see that. Like I said, it's a nightmare for some fans. I guess for me, the real nightmare would be trading up and then taking like I don't know
Neighbors?
Yeah, something like that. Like just completely leveraging more assets. That would be my nightmare. But obviously I don't think he's going to do that.
Before you jump in, Ryan, would it be a nightmare if you guys draft anything offensively?
No. I don't even think that's off the table. I think
Why?
I think they may because it's just based on what we've seen them do. They obviously we prioritize offense. We need to prioritize defense as well, and I believe we will. But I don't think more offense is not a bad thing, right? Having people that can play is not bad.
It's the same thing last year when we took Gibbs. People were like, you told me last year, you guys already had a top 10 offense. Why are you taking a running back? And then look what Gibbs did for our offense. And Brad Holmes is on record. I've said this on the pod before, but when you have a strength, you don't need to stray away from that and try to get everything else. Hone in on your strength. And a strength for us last year was the run game.
But the thing is, though, you guys had the number 1 run game in football last year, and the reason you lost is because of your defense, you would say.
Yeah,
so
we need more on defense for sure.
That's what I'm saying. So if you guys go first round offense, if I was a Lions fan, I would be heated.
But here's what I could argue we need just as bad though is a second receiver. J-Mo's got his role, and we're hoping for big things from him. But let's say Amon-Ra goes down week 3, and he misses a month. You have J-Mo and who else exactly? Not a lot. You have Khalif Raymond. You have guys like that who are not going to carry the torch. Antoine Green? No.
I think the thing is, if you guys go receiver, it's kind of saying you gave up on J-Mo, especially first round.
I don't believe that, bro.
I do.
And I believe that our coaches are smart enough to not allow J-Mo to understand it and take it that way. He's going to do what he does. He's a grown man, but
yeah,
I think it's a team thing. Yeah.
It is a team thing.
I'll tell you guys, my nightmare would be drafting a receiver. I truly believe that because I can see us taking
4 of them.
Right.
Yeah, we have the best receiving core in football. But I can see us taking Xavier Worthy because we don't have a really stretch the field type of guy. I don't know how I would feel about it. Maybe I'll eat my words about it, but I don't know. I'm not a fan of that. I'm really not.
Yeah, but your receiving room is a lot different than ours right now. The loss of Josh Reynolds was a big deal,
I get it. I'm with you 100%.
Yeah, so if it's not drafting one to try and fill that role, and I'm not saying in round 1, if Listen, if AD Mitchell's there at 29 and we draft him, am I going to be pissed? Absolutely not.
No.
I'll
That's actually
I'll do a backflip.
that was going to be one of my dream scenarios. Actually, I love that kid.
Yeah, I'll do a backflip. Or at least try to. You know what I mean? But if we
I
don't,
was gonna say you're not doing a backflip.
but if we don't and we trade back or we draft a lineman and get a receiver later on in the draft or via free agency, I don't care. But we do need to bulk up that receiver room just for depth purposes because outside of Amon-Ra and J-Mo, what really do we have, you know?
Yeah, I think it's just more the where you pick the receiver, when you pick the receiver, not where or whatever. But
I got you.
I think a first round investment would be heavy on a receiver. But if you guys at the same time don't draft a receiver at all, that's also a fail. So I
Right.
agree with you.
Right.
Yeah, I would think that we can wait until second round to take one. I just wouldn't prefer it. Like if AD Mitchell's there, or if Brian Thomas is somehow there or someone, I'll take them. He's like happily. My dream scenario, I'm copying Moran. Give me Dijon. Like I think that guy's gonna be awesome.
Man, he's so good, bro.
He's so
I'll be
athletic
shocked.
and he's freakish, man. Like I don't see a way that he's not a good player.
That's what I'm saying. I'll be shocked if he's not good. I really will be.
My
Is
nightmare
the-
would be if we took something crazy like I don't know, like a linebacker or like a running back, which running back's not going to happen. But like something
Man,
like that, which
I-
we do, yeah, like if we take a linebacker, I'm going to be like, bro, what? Like we don't need it, you know? We need one, but it's not like our biggest need.
Right. What about? And I'm asking for for what you guys said about Cooper DeJean. You know, he's projecting. Okay,
Get it right.
Okay, whatever.
Dijon.
They're projecting him to be a safety though. So do you still want him in the secondary, even if he's a safety, even if he transitions to that position, or you only want him as a corner?
I'm sorry. Is there some kind of rule that's written somewhere that white people cannot play cornerback? Because I feel like he's a corner.
I mean, I don't want to play the race card, but I mean, the rule's there. It's been a long time, bro.
Is that why this rumor's going around that he's going to switch over to safety?
No,
why can't
I
he
think-
play corner?
No, he can, but I think he's a guy that can play anything.
Yeah. No,
I literally think
yeah.
he can play any position. In the secondary, that is.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
I love that guy.
His pro day numbers were crazy.
I might start eating Dijon mustard.
All
because we
right.
draft him.
Hey, shout out to some Dijon mustard, baby. That shit's good.
That's good stuff. Do you guys want to talk about Rashee Rice before we leave? What is that guy doing?
Yeah, that's a bad situation.
So
I
where
don't-
was
Go ahead, guys.
Ron's baffled right now. He's shook.
I'm so annoyed, bro. I can't believe it. Like, I don't even make a lot of money, and when I get like a nice, decent commission check, you won't even catch me speeding in my F-150. Like, bro, you're making millions of dollars. What are you doing?
Right.
You can literally rent out a NASCAR track and go in circles if you really want to. I don't know, man.
It's just so tragic because he did have such a great rookie year. You just won the Super Bowl. Like, the sky's the limit for you, man. And you just want to take a joyride and with your friends and just do something that dangerous is just so stupid to me. Especially like 3 years after Henry Ruggs did his thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, what are you doing? Like, learn from people, man.
It's just something that is, like you said, they don't know. They don't learn. No one is learning. It's not. I hate to harp on it, and it's unfortunate that we have to talk about Rashee Rice, but you're right. We're 3 years removed from Henry Ruggs. Jalen Carter just got in trouble for it last year. Like, it's just something
Yeah.
that we see constantly. And it's like, you know what? I get it. You have a fast car and you want to push it. And I understand that. But you know what? You're a professional athlete. You're in the position that only some can dream of. Just be smarter. Like Moran said, go rent the track out. You can do that. And you have the assets, or I'm sorry, the ability to. You have the money
You
to
can buy
do
a
that.
track.
Yeah, you have. You know what I mean? You have the ability to go do certain things that other people can't. So yeah, I hope that he just learns from it, man, because he was a great player. He's very important to that team, and it's unfortunate where he's going to miss some games. So, but thankfully he's okay. I know he's getting sued by a couple of the victims. So he'll have the legal battle or whatever, but yeah, hopefully he learns from it.
Well, and he lucked out that he didn't really hurt somebody. Like
Right.
Henry Ruggs was not lucky enough to say that, and his career
You
would
guys
be over.
remember how
His life
good
would
he
be over.
was?
Henry
Henry
Ruggs?
Ruggs?
Yeah.
I remember Alabama good. Unfortunately, he went to the Raiders. But yeah, he had the
No,
potential
but-
to be crazy.
Like it was crazy. I was on TikTok the other day, and there was a Henry Ruggs highlight reel.
Yeah.
For Oakland, and
Crazy.
the guy was nuts.
No, he made some
No.
plays for sure. He was
He
coming
did.
into his own. He didn't
And-
start fast, but he got there.
Yeah, I mean, he was part of the Waddle, Devonta Smith class, the Jerry Jeudy class. I mean, he was one of those guys, right? And it's just, it's unfortunate. So, yeah, as unfortunate as the situation is for Rashee Rice, he should count himself lucky that it's not on the other side where you could end up like Henry Ruggs, career over, boom, and just like that.
You know what's crazy? I looked it up. Is every NFL team has drivers for these players, and they literally I don't know if every team does it, but there's a few teams that literally run shifts, 24 hours. You can call someone. It's all there.
It wasn't an issue of having access though. It's just thrill-seeking behavior, man.
No,
Like,
I know,
it's that simple.
I know, 100%, I know, but
Yeah.
it's more. I'm talking more Henry Ruggs, the whole drunk driving. They literally have drivers for you.
And I know it's easy for us to say like, oh, it's so stupid. How could you ever do that? But like, we've never been in that position with that amount of money, and that amount of people shipping us and mailing us fan mail and like things like that. Like, these guys have egos, man, and they get big and they do stupid things. And it's honestly, it's hard to live a quiet life when you're an athlete like that, And I'm not saying what he did was okay or justifying it or anything. I'm just saying I can wrap my head around a second-year player or a young kid with all the money in the world doing something really stupid and dangerous.
Oh, yeah, of course. I've done stupid stuff
all
without
have.
all the money in the world, right? Like,
Yesterday?
okay. Not yesterday, actually. But no, I mean, we've all sped. I've never been behind the wheel of a Corvette doing 140, but I'm not, I've pushed my Jeep to 95, 100, right? I mean, you know what I mean? Like, everyone's done stupid things in their life, so it's easy
What's
to
it,
do.
buddy? I got the cops on speed dial right now, and you just outed yourself.
Okay, all right.
Way to
all
go,
right.
Buster.
I'm
Did you
out
go
of here.
beep beep in your Jeep?
Oh, yes, with the top down, baby. Or off, I should say.
Is that a song?
What?
Beep,
you
beep,
go
in the Jeep.
beep,
No,
beep?
I'm just creative. No, it's not a
okay,
song.
never mind.
It's about to be. Someone clip that.
For real.
Anything you guys want to say for the good of the group before we head out?
Nah,
Man, let's get ready. I sorry to cut you off,
No,
but
you're good,
man,
you're good, you're good.
Next week is gonna be lit. If you guys don't listen next week, I'm sorry. Literally, it's my birthday. We got the draft.
Oh, this is birthday.
It's gonna be lit next week.
Yeah,
Be
yeah.
here or be square. SpongeBob Square.
All right, all right.
okay. Lame.
Yeah. Loser.
No, but I'm excited for next week. I'm really pumped for it.
No, I think it'll be cool too. We're definitely gonna have to figure out how we're gonna do the mock draft, but I think it's gonna be dope. It'll be my first ever mock draft, right? Like where I'm actually putting my picks on paper and standing on them. So that'll be dope. I'm excited for that.
Good times.
Yeah, as far as everything though, thanks for being patient with us. Sorry for the lack of uploads the last 2 weeks. Life happens, unfortunately. In this case, it was a very fortunate event, but things do come up. This is not our full-time gig. We do this on the side. Ryan and myself are
Inshallah
fathers.
soon.
Yeah, Moran soon to be. So, yeah, thank you guys for sticking with us. Thank you for listening. As always, check us out on Instagram at Honolulu Cheese Podcast. We appreciate you guys so much.
Thank you.
Well, thanks, guys. And as always, may your Kool-Aid stay blue and the cheese stay on your head. Take care.
Peace.